Hey guys, what's up? Michelle here. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about my concealer collection. So I'm going to use this video as an opportunity to declutter and kind of bring you guys along what I've been really loving, not loving, what I'm going to throw away, donate, and what I'm going to keep. So to be honest with you guys, concealer and mascara are like my top two must-haves. Like anytime a new mascara comes out, anytime a new concealer comes out, I'm so excited to try it. And the reason why I'm always looking for a badass concealer, because I really, dark circles, number one, and puffiness, number two. Doesn't matter if I get 20 hours of sleep, I'm always looking crazy. But I also feel when it comes to, you know, every step of application when it comes to makeup, that concealer and mascara are very hard to fix. Meaning, you know, you can have this bomb ass mascara that you really want to work and you put it on and you're like, oh, nothing what you wanted. It's not doing anything for you. So you're like, I'll just use a good, you know, mascara over top. And it just goes 180, everything clumps up, it looks horrible. By then you're already done with all of your makeup, to like, what do you do? So I feel the same way with concealer. You know, I have been there a few times. I tried a new concealer, it didn't work. I was in a hurry, had to go, so I put on one of my favorite concealers on top of it, and it just made it a wreck. So those are my two like makeup items that I'm always trying new. Also, I've mentioned in a few videos that I'm not wearing any kind of powder underneath my eyes with talc in it. And obviously talc is a huge thing now. But I feel it really dries out my under eye area. So I've been using the Pure powder. This is the 2-in-1 mineral powder to set my under eye area. And then I will take like a translucent powder over the rest of my face. So anyways, we are going to get into this video, but beforehand, I want to mention something really cool to you guys. And I wasn't going to mention it. I was actually going to do an actual how to use video. If you still want to see it, leave it in the comments below. But I love this product and I'm letting you guys know about it because you can actually find this at Marshall's and TJ Maxx. So I love to self tan. I'm a person, I'm half Spanish, so I tan very well, but I'm not in the sun or in the sun a lot. And when I am, I kind of feel it did damage my skin along the way. Like I have a bunch of these like sunspots, and you know, you just don't want to go there. Everyone's being really self-conscious about, you know, health and skin and all that stuff. So I love self-tanning. And I love using like a quick little oil. Like this is a Too Faced Royal Oil Coconut Oil Body Bronzer. This is really good. It's expensive, but this will make you look like a bronze goddess. But this washes off like in a drop of a dime. Like it's gonna wash off. So I like using something that I can control. I can really, the color guide's really going to not only be correct, but I'm going to be able to not mess it up, if that makes sense to you. I kind of lost my train of thought. So, this is from Saint-Tropez, and this is an expensive brand. I actually have this one right here from Sephora, and I will spend the $50 that it's worth. I think it's an amazing self-tanner. I feel every single time I've used it, whether I want to be a little bit more on the darker side or super, super dark where it looks like I came back from, you know, a tropical vacation, whatever it may be, this does it for you. And it's so, so friendly when it comes to if you're a beginner or if you're someone, like the first time I used this, I didn't have a tanning mitt. So I read online to use a sock, and it seeped through the sock, and I had nothing on my hands. You know, I'm like, oh, like I had to wash my hands every couple, like from leg to leg, from arm to arm, but it worked out. So anyhow, this is like a $50 item. I went to TJ Maxx. No, I'm sorry. I went to Marshall's, and I ended up seeing a bunch of these bottles. And I've worked at a kind of Marshall's / TJ Maxx kind of store, and you kind of think about it in your head. Is something wrong with it? Like, is something wrong with it? You know, you never know. You're going to a discounted store. So this brand is selling it to another, you know, store that's a discounted store at a discounted rate. This is only like $7-8 at Marshall's, I'm sorry. So you kind of think in your head, like, what's the defect? And so I picked this up and decided to use it, and it is just as amazing. So this is going to sound real cray, but so it has a color guide on the back. You can do 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. So it kind of, you know, when you get a tanning product, like I have this one right here that I love, and you can see where it says medium. So this is for medium, like a medium tone. This one does not do that. It actually gives you a color guide on the back. So you can do 1 hour for light tan, 1 hour, 2 hour for medium tan, and 3 hour for dark. Number one, love that. But so listen, if I'm super fucking lazy and I just want a quick tan and I know that I'm working for a straight week, or I know I'm only going to be showing like a certain part of my body, that's all I will tan. So look, so here's how my arms look. Here's how my hands look. I did go a little sparingly on the hand area, but everything is meshed well together. There's no streakiness. Everything's good. My chest looks, you know, enough for me. Look at so here's my stomach. That's how white compared to my arms. So I did not tan the midsection. Like I did my boobs or breast. I guess that's a better thing to say on YouTube. So I did my breast, but I didn't do like from here to my bikini line because I knew I'm not swimming, I'm not doing anything crazy. So again, just pointing it out there, it's a really, it's like bulletproof. Like you're not gonna mess that up. So just letting you know that. All right, so let's get into the video and talk about some concealer. All right, so, okay. So I counted yesterday before doing this video. I have 53 concealers in here. I think now 54. So I'm just literally going to go through and say what I'm going to donate, give away, all that kind of stuff. So the first thing I want to mention is, so this is from Kokie. This probably needs to be thrown away, to be honest with you. But this is the Cushion Concealer. And I thought this would be a really clever idea because I can literally take my beauty blender on the one side and like put my foundation in, take this side and dip it in. But it doesn't really show up. And when it does, it's very oily. So it's like taking, like you see that? Like you're going to get some color, but it doesn't really show up. And it's very like, it's like putting a natural oil all over your face. Like, I don't know. It's only $5. It doesn't work for me. So I'm actually going to throw this away because I've had it for way too long now. It's only good for 6 months. I probably had it now. I can't speak. I'm sorry. I probably had it now for a year and a half. So we're going to let that go. All right. The next thing is from Becca. And this is the Ultimate Coverage Concealing Cream. So the packaging from Becca, I think is just beautiful. It is glass. This did not work out for me. Number one, it's very sticky. So initially when you put it on, you're like, oh, that's so good. But it creases so bad and it's very sticky that immediately it falls into fine lines. And then it falls into fine lines. And then immediately when you put a powder in it, that falls into fine lines. So it looks like you look really crazy. Like the color is very good. Love the packaging. Price point's a little bit up there, but it is Becca. And I love so many of Becca products. I actually have 2 things Becca on my face. But this, I can't. I have really, really dry under eyes. And this just amplified it by 20. So I am going to donate that because I, just got it recently. So sorry about that. Something that's very similar. This is from Marc Jacobs. And this is the Remarkable Concealer, and this is very similar. So you get a glass kind of bottle or container, and it is sticky, but it doesn't have that like kind of sound to it. So what happens when you put this on is it turns into like a powder. I don't know how they did it, why they did it like that, not why they did it. They did it because it's amazing. It is remarkable. But when you put it on, it just falls into like this. Like it's like a powder. It blends very nicely. It's not sticky anymore. It doesn't fall into any fine lines. It does not crease, but it does not cover as well. But this is something that I do love. I do enjoy, so I am keeping this guy. This guy I actually need to throw away. I've used it so much and I keep hoping for more to come out, but this is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Concealer. It's a little bit pricey, I will be honest, even drugstore wise. It's a little bit pricey for the amount you get. Like you get like maybe, I would say 6 times out of the tube. So the applicator reminds me of the Adria one from Maybelline. But this is something that is just beautiful. I love the shade of it. It's actually one of my favorite shades in my collection. But this is something that is very lightweight. I actually love this for no makeup days. I would keep this in my makeup bag. And to cover up my darkness in my under eye area, I will take a little bit of this on my pinky and literally just go right in. It takes care of everything. I have a little bit of redness also on my nose and in this, my T-zone area. This takes care of everything. But again, it is a little bit pricey for the amount you get. So I'm going to throw that away because I just got to be done with it. I'm actually going to the next brand I'm going to be talking about. I'm actually just going to take all of the ones I have in here out so we can talk about them collectively, because I will be honest, I don't like any of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have one more. Oh no, talking to you guys like you're here. All right, so here is CoverGirl. Now, I have the CoverGirl Outlast All Day. This is a new concealer from them. This is the one that's more of their active line. Then we have the CoverGirl Outlast All Day, which is like a normal one. Then we have the CoverGirl Violet Healthy Concealer. This is the newest one, or newer one. So this one's kind of like the L'Oreal one. This is like $14. You don't get a lot in it. I do not like the applicator. I don't like the kind of nail kind of applicator. This is not, for the amount of money you can get so much better at the drugstore. You can get a $5 e.l.f. one that does wonders. This, it's not worth it. I'm very disappointed in this one. These ones are kind of okay. I can kind of work it out, kind of get past it. But we're paying our hard-earned money. Why do we have to get past it? That's how I feel anymore. So these are all no's for me. This one right here, CoverGirl kind of got it funny with the name. This is the Clean Invisible Concealer. And CoverGirl got it right because it is invisible. So once you put this on, first off, the colors are just really off. But once you put it on and you blend it for a split second, it's like, where'd my concealer go? So these are all no for me, unfortunately. I love CoverGirl. I love their eyeshadows. I love their eyebrow products. I love lip gloss. I'm not talking shit on any brand, but this, for the amount of money I spent just in this one, I could have got a high-end one that I know works and I love. So these are a no. This one right here, I am going to throw away because it's a little bit, no, I'm sorry, not this one. This one I'm going to throw away because it's a little bit older. These ones I am going to donate. And this is another one from CoverGirl that I wanted to keep separate from that bunch. So this one I was actually really, really excited about. So I was waiting for CoverGirl to do a replica of the new L'Oreal Infallible one. So brands are brands. If something hot is out in the market, they are going to do the same thing, just different packaging to get it out there to be in that group. And it is what it is. So L'Oreal came out with the full Infallible Full Wear concealer. So that is what their packaging looks like. And now CoverGirl came out with this guy. So this is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. So literally, it reminds me of Tarte. I mentioned this when I did the L'Oreal video. The doe foots are literally identical. I will say out of the two, spend your money on L'Oreal. I feel the colors are better. I feel it doesn't crease as much. This one right here, I was so excited about it, and just putting it on the back of my hand, I'm like, holy shit, like CoverGirl finally got it right. But this creases so quickly that it's just not worth it. Like even on the back of my hand, I don't know if you can see it, but every fine line I have on my hand, it falls into it. So I don't know. I hope they get their stuff together. Yeah, it's full coverage. It definitely is. And it does highlight, looks beautiful. They have a lot of shades. It's actually really super inexpensive. It's only $10, which is good for CoverGirl, but I cannot get on board with any of them. So, for me, I have dry under eyes. I have bags underneath my eyes. I can get 5 hours of sleep. I can get 20 hours of sleep. I'm still looking like this. I've been like that all my life. So I'm really looking for something that is full coverage, kind of a little bit thick and a little bit creamy and hydrates. So it's a hard combo, you know. So, but the L'Oreal Infallible, just to take this out of the bunch, I actually really like this. So I'm keeping that. We have the Rimmel Stay Matte Soft Matte Concealer Full Coverage. Number one, it's not full coverage. Number two, it's not soft. Number three, the color sucks, but the packaging is beautiful and it is very good money. It's like $4. It didn't work out for me. It creased initially as soon as I put it on. Their color ranges are a little bit off. There's nothing that's really a neutral undertone or a yellow undertone. They're all like fair undertones. And then you get to the super dark tones. So, I don't know. Their colors are a little bit off. I am going to donate this. Let's talk about more Rimmel. These are the worst, I feel, in my collection. And I hate saying that because they work so hard to come out with stuff like this. Sorry if I'm sweating. It's so hot in this room. So we have the older one, the C Match Perfection from Rimmel. The colors, again, so this is supposed to be light. Like, that would fit me being tan. Like, the colors are off. Again, I don't like this kind of applicator. And again, the colors are just, okay, so that is the color light. How is that the color light? Rimmel. I just don't understand. That's not the color light. I'm actually going to throw these away because I played around with them so much, swatching, doing all that. I don't like donating something with a kind of, like, that's nasty to me. I don't know. So, people can get mad. It's my makeup. All right. So, the next thing is the Lasting Finish 25-Hour Breathable one. The applicator is a little bit better, but again, the shade, so this is the shade Fair, which is a little bit better. But yeah, this one was not good at all. It had no coverage to it. It was very sticky to the touch. And yeah, I'm just not into that. Okay. So the next thing that we want to talk about, something I actually really love, and I think it's such an amazing price. You get a lot of product in here. This is from Joa. So this is a Korean brand from K-Beauty. And you get so much in here. So this is truly yours. And I actually I did a video trying the foundation out, and I love that foundation. So the color for me is a little bit light. It's in the shade Natural Ivory. But this, guys, is really good. So this is not only full coverage, it is long lasting. It does not crease. It's only $7. I found mine at CVS. I believe you can go on the Joa website as well. But I think their foundation's great. I think their primer's great. I think this is great. This is something that I do love and I use quite often. It is a little bit light for me, but sometimes I will use a darker foundation and really highlight with this guy and make it work. And it's like mixing or making your own foundation shade. So I am keeping this. I am in love with it. All right, let's talk about this guy right here. So these are from Maybelline, and these are the Age Rewind Dark Circle Erasers. I cannot, for the life of me, get these to work. They don't want to be with me. I don't want to be with them. So this one right here, I'm going to throw away because I've used this so many times. I love the applicator. I don't know if it's the shade. It looks full coverage. It looks good. But when I put it on, yeah, it creases so bad on me and it looks full coverage. But when you have the rest of your face looks good, you know, you're not creasing anywhere, everything is like flawless, and then you go to the eye area and someone looks in your eyes and it's like horrible. I don't know what is in here, why it does that. I don't know. If you have sensitive under eye area like I do, like I have sensitive skin across the board, but if you have something that like me, like it's very dry, you know, yeah, no. Like I have so many problems in my eyes, that's why I have so many fucking concealers. All right, so the next concealer we're going to be talking about is something that I'm not going to hit on very long because I have only used this once and I don't remember it. So this is the BU Hydro Miracle Concealer. Love the packaging. Don't like the applicator, but love the packaging. I only used this like once and I honestly don't remember it. So I will try it out again and let you guys know. But BU is more of an expensive brand, just so you know. I found BU at Giant Eagle. The NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Contour Concealer. I love this. I love the shade range. I love the price points. It does not crease. It's definitely full coverage. It's easy to blend. The applicator is amazing. One of my favorite ones. Definitely keeping it. The next one is from Makeup Revolution. They say this is a dupe for Tarte Shape Tape. And I will be honest, I've used this a few times. I feel it's a dupe for packaging wise, meaning applicator wise. But I don't like it. I just don't. It creases very quickly, very quickly. It doesn't matter what foundation, you know, I'm using. It doesn't matter what powder I'm using on top of it. And the shade, I didn't really get the proper shade, but I just didn't care for it. I know a lot of people loved it. It's only $7. If you have, you know, amazing under eye areas and you don't really crease that often, you can use a lot more stuff. This might be for you. For me, it just was not a hit. So I am going to donate. This is a newer concealer. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I love this. I love this. I love the foundation, the Conceal and Perfect. Unfortunately, the Conceal and Perfect breaks me out. This, my friends, is so good. I have the shade 115 Light Nude. I do need a darker shade, so I'm going to go with the shade 125. But this is so good. It is full coverage off the bat. It does not crease. It's so flawless looking. $7. Get it at Walmart. Get it on Milani.com. It is just beautiful. Like, these are, like, amazing. So I love that. The next one I'm going to be talking about is ColourPop. And I kept these two from ColourPop. Look how disgusting that looks. From the heat in my room, I never ever use these. So these are the No Filter concealers. And I actually shopped online and purchased these two. I have the shade 04 and the shade 06. Usually for me, because I'm so pale, that's a good shade. These are super white. I was very surprised by that. I'm running out of room. So I decided to keep these to do a little bit, oh yeah, like that's so white. I decided to keep these to do a little bit cut creasing and I never got around to doing it. $6. I didn't like it on the under eyes, but I also did not give it a really fair chance because it was the wrong shade. I did use them to see the texture, you know, if it was hydrating, creamy, is it really a no filter type thing? And I didn't really like it. So I think it was mainly because the color, I was pissed off, waited so long to get it. So it's more of like a pissed off thing than is it that good thing. So I'm going to be throwing these away because they're so old. But if you do want me to repurchase and let you know what I think, I will. But for right now, I'm just going to take a break on that. Wet n Wild. So I have two of these. I actually think these are pretty good. I don't think they're full coverage by any means. I think the shades are amazing. I have the shade Light Medium in Light Ivory. So Light Ivory I will wear every day. This I will wear if I'm more tan. The applicator is a little bit small for me, but these are really, really good. I think for drugstore and only being like $4, I think this is so worth it. Again, it's not full coverage, but it doesn't crease on me. It works over every foundation I ever used. It works, you know, under any powder I ever use. So I love these and I will be keeping them. Then we have the Believe Beauty. I just did a video on this and I actually really love the coverage of it. It doesn't break me out. It doesn't crease. I think it's beautiful. But unfortunately, I just don't reach for this enough and it's fairly new, so I'm going to donate it. Two items that are more high-end that I am super obsessed with are these two right here. So I have the Smashbox Studio Skin 24 Studio Waterproof Concealer. And then I have the Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer from Urban Decay. So these are a hydrating, just the smoothest, creamiest concealers I have in my collection. And I wish the color range was a little bit better, but these are so good. The applicator is very flimsy, so it's very easy to get into what you need to get into. So this is the Urban Decay. It's a little bit more yellow toned, but I love using these. I will use these on no makeup days. Again, this is waterproof. I used this last week. I went swimming and I did more of a sweat resistant, you know, water resistant foundation with a little bit of this and mascara. Went on my way. I looked beautiful. Nothing, you know, broke apart. In love with that. And both of these, again, for my under eye situation, it feels good. Like when I put it on and I blend it in, I'm like, oh my God, these are so good. This is the Smashbox one. I'm like running out of room. They're not super full coverage by any means, but they're enough. And I've used some high-end ones, and these are a little bit better. I mean, higher end, like high end. But these are really good. These are actually my top two favorites. I'm going to be mentioning one more favorite, but these are like hands down, like using every single day, in love with them. Then we have Becca again. I hate doing this. So this is the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer. This packaging is beautiful. I was actually so excited about this concealer. I thought it'd be hydrating, you know, with the name being luminous, and it is not. So the color range is bad again, and I'm very picky with my colors. I want my colors to be like a neutral undertone, but this one, as you can see, I had to kind of flip over the applicator, so you have to dunk in a few times, number one, which is not a huge deal. I'm just letting you know. And number two, it's really expensive. Number three, it creases very quickly. And number four, it's very drying on the under eyes. And yeah, this is a no for me. I'm going to be donating. This is from BH Cosmetics, and this is the Studio Pro Total Coverage Concealer. This is so good, and I mean so good. This is the first concealer that I was able to use. I took a little bit on my finger and just dabbed it in and put a little bit of powder over top of it. This is good. It's really full coverage. The shade I use is 105, and I really love it. It doesn't crease, lasts all day. Everything, you know, on top of foundation, amazing. Powder over top, amazing. So this is a really, really good one. Then we have NYX. This is the HD Studio Photogenic one. I actually really love this as much as I love the Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I think NYX makes amazing concealers, and they're very inexpensive. So these are some of my favorites. Also, keeping on the theme of NYX, I have the Full Coverage Concealer. This is in a pot, and I actually use this to prime my eyes a lot of the times. So this actually reminds me of the paint pot from MAC, just more affordable. It's only $5, so I love those. I will be keeping them. Then we have the Creamy Concealer from Bobbi Brown, and I actually use this in my makeup bag. Can you tell I like it? I'm hitting pan. This is so silky smooth. It actually turns into powder. Like, it's just one of those ones I mentioned in the beginning. You put this on and it just blends effortlessly, but it's not full coverage. But it is expensive, and again, I love this. I am keeping it, and it's going to go right back in my makeup bag over here. But there is better alternatives, I feel, like less expensive ones. So that's good. Maybelline Fit Me, love these. I have two shades, one for when I'm tan, one for when, like, you can tell if I really like something because I have two shades. So one for when I'm tan, one for when I'm not. I am going to be throwing these away because they're just nasty, gritty, but they're $7 a piece. They're definitely not full coverage. but there's something about them. These are my favorite, like, no makeup day kind of concealers. They really last all day, and they're very smooth. They don't crease, very inexpensive, and these are really good. So this is the Master Conceal Camouflage Concealer from Maybelline. This is really good as well. I don't like the tube kind of thing, but this is actually more full coverage than any kind of Maybelline concealer I've ever used. So if you're looking for a cheap, affordable Maybelline concealer, I would go with this one. This one is great for the under eye area. This is from Neutrogena, and this is the Hydro Boost Hydrating Concealer, and it's exactly what it says. It is very, very creamy. Like, this is one of my favorite ones. I have a darker shade, and I will actually take it and put it right in this T-zone, right on my nose, right on my forehead, right down here. Take a really damp beauty blender and really press and go out, and take the side of the beauty blender and really just do this. And the reason why I do that, because it will cover a lot of my face. So it looks like I really took the time to do a foundation, to do something like that, and I'm not. I'm just taking this and not going crazy with it, but, you know, really taking the time to spread it out. This is really good and inexpensive. It's drugstore. I love highlighting with this. I do not like using it as a concealer though. So this is the Brightening Creamy Concealer from Maybelline. Very creamy. I'm running out of room. Like, this is just like so creamy, easy to blend, very inexpensive again. This creases, I think, the worst out of any concealer that I have. I'm sorry, Maybelline, but it does. But this is something that I love to use right here to brighten, right here to brighten. This really pops. It really makes that, you know, brightening good. So that's the only thing I keep it for, and I'm still keeping it. Model's Own, big fat no. Model's Own, big fat no. First off, super inexpensive. Secondly, they don't work. This one right here I used 2 times, and look. Like, are you serious? Like, I didn't even want to talk about it. Like, I'm actually being serious. All right, so the next one is from Catrice Cosmetics, and this is something I really love as well. Like, these right here are like, yes, I have to have them. So this is the High Coverage Camouflage Concealer. I have the shade Light Beige, and I love this. It's very creamy, very rich, very inexpensive. It's like $5. They actually added a lot more shades into their collection. I find this at Ulta. You can also go on Ulta.com. Catrice, to me, is an amazing, amazing brand. Oh my god, like, it is just so creamy. Like, so creamy and rich. One of my favorites. So I'm in love with that. This is not a concealer. It's actually something that, it's called the Becca Undercover Brightening Corrector. Guys, this is really good. If you are the kind of person that you're always running late, like me, you're always in a hurry, but like, and you can't do your makeup, but you want to make your under eye area look good, dab a little bit of this underneath, like literally right here. Your darkness goes away. Your face comes together. This is a really, really good product. This is actually a baby sample size I got in a kit, but this is worth the money. I actually usually keep this in my bathroom. Then we have the number 7 Radiant Glow Concealer. I really love this. It's definitely not full coverage. It's one of the most sheerest ones I have in my collection, but, and I don't like the applicator, but I love this for a radiant glow. Like, if I'm doing more of a glowy look, this is one of my go-to concealers. It definitely gives you a dewy kind of look, and it doesn't crease, doesn't settle in fine lines, but the color of it, there's just something about it. I don't know. It's like more of a neutral. I'm just like covered in swatches, so I'm sorry you can't see. Oh my god, we're going on 34 minutes. Okay, so we're gonna rapid fire through the rest. LA Girl Pro Conceal. I love this. A lot of people love it. Very inexpensive, and I would highly recommend getting this. So there's that one. Ofra. It was good. I think for the amount of money, the packaging broke, which pisses me off. It's definitely not super full coverage. It's more medium to full coverage, but I don't mind it, but I don't grab it. I don't go for it that much, so I'm going to donate it. This is from Broadway Colors. This is something you can find at Dollar General. And I actually really love this. It's very new in my collection. It definitely takes care of darkness, and it doesn't crease. And it's like $3, but I don't reach for it enough, so I'm going to donate it. Then we have the Revlon Photo Ready Candid line. And I actually really love this. It has caffeine in it, so that means it takes care of any puffiness and makes you look, you know, more awake, keeping that. Then we have the Revlon Photo Ready Concealer. I don't mind this. I actually really do love this. Unfortunately, I don't grab it enough, and I'm going to donate it. Then we're going to go down to these three bad boys right here. So my most worn favorite concealer in my collection is the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I'm in love with this. Number one, it's the same price as Tarte Shape Tape, but number two, it's a bigger bottle. Number three, it's good for 6 more months than Tarte Shape Tape. And not talking shit on Tarte Shape Tape at all, because I love it. But I think the colors are a little bit better on this one. So this is so creamy. It does not crease. It's very pigmented, and I'm in love. You can actually get a darker shade if you want to use it to contour. Obsessed. Again, my number one concealer that I use every single day, like top shelf. Tarte. I love Tarte Shape Tape. I think it does a wonderful job. It does not crease, but I feel for the money wise between the two of these, I honestly rather go with Born This Way. Tarte is my favorite between the two brands, to be honest with you, but I feel that competes just so much more with my dryness, my dark circles, and the bags underneath my eyes. This one's pretty good. I am going to be throwing this away. I got this about a year ago, and you can see like the gunkiness on the tube. This was never my shade. It's way too light for me. This is the shade Light Sand. I will suggest, someone actually wrote me asking if I ever tried this, what I thought about it. I actually really do love it. It doesn't crease. I feel it's popular for a reason because it does do an amazing job. If you want to go on Ulta.com and you're okay with ordering online, you can actually order a mini size of this. So you don't have to. They're $10, which is still expensive. I think these are like $23. But that's a way for you to find a shade, kind of figure it out if that's really your thing. But Tarte's really good. They actually make like a little mini one, and I was looking to get one to carry in my makeup bag. So if you are really looking for something that's a little more affordable and you want to just sample it, that's a good way to sample it. So Ulta.com has it, or if you have an Ulta next to where you live, they have bunches of them. So go check that out. Also, this is so good right here. I do have to get a different shade. This is from e.l.f. This is their 16-hour camo concealer. This is such a dupe for Tarte and Too Faced, to be honest with you. The applicators are just identical. This shade, though, is like the lightest shade that I own. It's way, way, way too white for me. The other day, I was, wanting to wear a foundation that I super love, but it's way too dark. I mean, probably 3 times darker than what my arms look like. So what I did was I put that on. I put this in here, down my nose, down here, blended it all together. And that's why I keep a hold of this. That's why I haven't donated it, gave it to a friend, did anything like that, because this and that foundation just blend so well together. This is only $5. You can find it on elf.com. You can go to Ulta, and you can go to Walgreens. CVS has it. Only $5. You get a lot in here, and I love this so much. So it's a big dupe for these two. All right, you guys, so that is it for my collection. Thank you so much for sitting here with me for 40 minutes. I cannot believe I did a 40-minute video. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And also make sure you leave a comment so I know who you are for future giveaways. I am going to wipe off all of my makeup, and I will see everybody in my next video.